Henderson, the left fielder, what a talent. In center field, Dave Henderson, because the left-hander is working against Oakland tonight. Jose Canseco in the center of the storm the other night. Carney Lansford, the third baseman. Mike Gallego at shortstop because of the injury to Walter Weiss. The ex-Yankee captain Willie Randolph over at second base. Mark McGuire at first base. Behind the plate, after missing Wednesday night's game, Terry Steinbach. And on the mound, Mike Moore.
Here's the starting lineup for the Cincinnati Reds, who have won the first two games of this series. Barry Larkin at short. Billy Hatcher in center. He's had 7 hits and 2 walks in 9 plate appearances. They haven't gotten him out yet. Paul O'Neill is in right field. Eric Davis in left. The designated hitter is Al Morris, who frequently plays regularly at first base. Chris Sabo at third. Todd Benzinger, the switch hitter, is at first base. Joe Oliver, the catcher. Mariano Duncan at second base, and Tom Browning will do the pitching. And we're set to go with Barry Larkin stepping in. He is 3 for 9 in this World Series to this point. And the third baseman Lansford guards against the bunt, and we hope you enjoy this one. Ball 1 low. The third base coach is Sam Perlazzo, and Tony Perez at first base for Cincinnati. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. The umpires are, and we've had a switch in the umpires. Jim Quick behind the plate, Ted Hendry, Randy Marsh, Larry Barnett, but he's not at third base. Frank Pulley and Rocky Rowe. And strike 2 to Larkin, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The third base umpire tonight is Bruce Fremming, filling in for Larry Barnett, who had the flu and had to return to the hotel. There is Bruce. I chatted with Larry Barnett before the game, not realizing he did have the flu. Larkin takes ball 2, and it's 2-2 to the leadoff man with Larkin, Hatcher, and O'Neill to bat here in the first. Up the middle and a base hit for Larkin. Moore flashed at it and sailed past his hip for the 4th hit of the series for Barry Larkin.
Mike Moore didn't have as good a year this year, not nearly as good a year. He won 19 last year, only 13 this year. And one of the reasons was he was falling behind. But on this 2-2 pitch, the split finger fastball is rifled back at him. He thought it was hit harder than it was. And it ekes into center field for a base hit.
And now, can they get Billy Hatcher out? That's what the A's are asking themselves. And can they stop Larkin from running? Lou Piniella told us he's going to try to do some running here tonight, as he has throughout postseason play. Hatcher 7 for 7, plus 2 walks in the World Series.
I don't think this is a time for a hit and run because Hatcher's swinging the bat so well. I think you let him be selective up at the plate.
And he tried to bunt his way on, fouled it.
And I also don't think it's time for a bunt either. If you're swinging a hot bat, you don't want to bunt and sacrifice in the first inning. Not that that was a pure sacrifice. I think he was bunting for a base hit.
He has the World Series record, and he's trying to add to it in this at-bat. And a long look at Sam Perlazzo, the third base coach.
That graphic, however, as we said, the hit and run, not a viable option right here.
More to Larkin, and it's up and in. Opponents have stolen 17.
Look to the bench. He may throw over there again.
Brings it home, and a double play ball, perhaps. They finally got Hatcher out. Double play.
Looked like an inside fastball, and Hatcher hits it fairly sharply to shortstop. And Gallego and Randolph have no problem turning this double play.
Nicely done by Gallego, Randolph, and McGuire. 2 out, and Paul O'Neill tries to get his first World Series hit. Moore gets ahead on the count.
Matter of fact, Paul is the only starter on either side without a hit. He's 0 for 6 with an RBI and 3 walks.
They play him a bit to pull with 2 out, and it's a ball.
Funny how the game turns around. O'Neill led both sides with 8 hits in the championship series. And here now, he's the only starter without a hit.
Timing, timing, timing. 2 balls and a strike. It's like the Red Sox. They stopped hitting and they play off against Oakland, and then the big guys for the Pirates stopped hitting at the wrong time against Cincinnati. These A's haven't been hitting too much either. There's a hit for O'Neill, his first of the series with 2 out. That double play certainly helped Oakland.
So Paul O'Neill gets his first hit of the series. Here the Reds they have 2 hits with their first 3 hitters, but only 1 man on and no runs across.
Double play in the middle. Hit by Larkin. Double play. Base knocked by O'Neill, and Eric Davis is up. He's had a home run and 2 out of 9. Home run in the first inning of the first game. These Cincinnati players have told us that Davis' home run the opening night sent a shock down the Cincinnati bench. Said to themselves, we can do it, and they went on to win the first game 7-0, and the second game 5-4 in 10 innings. All 1 to Davis. During the season, he hit 24 home runs. There's ball 2 for Moore. He wants a different baseball. He is from Oakland, Oklahoma. Drafted by the Cardinals, and then he pitched for the most part for Seattle, came over here as a free agent.
He won 2 games in last year's World Series. You remember with the earthquake, only Dave Stewart and Mike Moore pitched for the Athletics last year. Both were 2-0.
That one's a strike. 2-1. First inning, game 3. O'Neill at first, 2 out. 2-2 on Davis.
If this game were played 2 or 3 months ago, then I think the hitters would have problems seeing. But with the early start, there's no problem at this time of the year, middle of October. As you can see, no problem with the sun.
No complaints, no excuses.
Nope. No, sir.
O'Neill at first can run a bit. He stole 13 bases this year. Drives a throw. Again, we'll tell you that American flag on the uniform of all these players is being worn as a tribute to the troops in the Persian Gulf. We hope that those folks watching the game enjoy it tonight. There goes the runner, and a base hit by Davis, and on to third base, O'Neill without a play. First and third, 2 out. 3 hits here in the first inning for the Reds, but we're still scoreless.
Terry Steinbach motioned for a high fastball then, and Mike Moore watched. Fastball 1, he wants it up, and he puts his glove right near his mask. And the ball wasn't up. It was outside. A pretty good pitch.
Number 23.
And Davis hits it off the end of the bat. And now the Reds have runners at first and third. 3 hits and no runs in this inning.
And the batter, Hal Morris, 1 out of 7 in the series, and he could put the Reds on top. Make these Oakland fans gasp a little more. Morris batted .340 during the season. Single by Larkin, double play, base hit O'Neill, base hit Davis. Morris the man of the moment. The way things have been going for Cincinnati, why, it'd be just like him to chip in, because up and down the lineup they've done whatever has been needed. A squeamish first inning for the A's. Morris hit 7 home runs during the season. He hits one, and a diving stop by McGuire ends the inning. No runs, 3 hits, 2 left, 1/2 inning. Maybe the worm has turned. No score.
field, often you don't have to field the ball cleanly. Watch how McGuire takes that one step, the ball's on top of him in a hurry. He smothers it and makes a rather easy play out of it.
Kind of looked like the ball came back on him a little bit. He wanted to make sure it didn't get by him. The Reds left two, and they send Tom Browning to the mound. Here's the lineup for the Oakland A's. Ricky Henderson, Arnie Lansford, Jose Canseco, Dave Henderson, Harold Baines, the DH, Mark McGuire, Terry Steinbach, Willie Randolph, Mike Gallego, and their pitcher Moore, who wriggled out of the first inning in the first pitch to Ricky. In for a strike from Browning, who will work just as rapidly as the batter will allow. And apparently Henderson didn't like that first call. National League umpire Jim Quick working the plate. Third base coach is Renee Latchman for the home team. And Dave McKay, who is also the strength and conditioning coach for Oakland. Oh, what a good play by Sabo and a hard hit ball by Ricky Henderson. That changes this inning.
That's why they call third base the reaction position. Watch the quick reactions by Chris Sabo. Timing, react, one out.
The ball was darn near past him when he caught it. Glove behind his head, as it turned out. One out.
Line drives have a tendency to take that glove back.
And Carney Lansford looks at ball one. In the World Series, 3 for 8 for Carney. And ball two. You don't have to wait for Browning.
Might be why the A's are stepping out of there. Talked about Welch and the strategy the other night. Bob Welch working very, very quickly.
Boss McCarver batted against Lasorda this year.
Yeah.
There's a strike.
All curveball.
3-1. A fly ball into right center, and Hatcher goes to it for the second out. Pretty well hit ball, 2 gone. Canseco. There's Lansford back to the bench. Hit the ball hard. That's all you can do in this game. Canseco is 1 for 7 in the series, and that was a home run in a losing effort. Stu Ryak, they love to talk and write about Canseco. He's been very cooperative during the series with the media, with us in particular. 1-1.
Misplayed ball the other night in Cincinnati. Some criticism from Dave Stewart, Tony La Russa.
That one's popped up. A lot of room in foul territory. Plenty of room for Benzinger, and a 1-2-3 inning for Browning. We played one at the Oakland Coliseum, and there is no score. Radio for CBS Radio tonight. For Sabo, ball one.
That was game 7. The Mets obviously won game 6. Then they came back from a 3-0 deficit the next night to win it. Dave Henderson, one of the stars in that series.
Some of the other 2-0 comebacks. 9 of the last 18 who were down 2 games to lose. For Sabo, 2-1. Hooray, say the Oakland fans. 9 of the last 18 who were down 2 games to none have come back in World Series play to win the World Series. But 0-3 is a different story, Tim.
Nobody's ever done it 0-3. Not even in basketball. It's been done twice in hockey. So obviously this is a big game for the Oakland Athletics.
Mike Moore threatens to walk the leadoff man, Sabo, a 3-1 count. Cincinnati wasted 3 singles in the opening inning.
From 1903 to 1954, there were 20 teams that were down no games to 2, and not a one of the 20 came back to win it. But 9 of 18 since 54.
Well hit ball by Sabo, carrying to the track to the wall, and Cincinnati leads it 1-0. Sabo cracks one over the fence. That's the 4th Cincinnati hit. Joseph, Mike Moore find themselves trailing in this one.
Mike Moore in a position where he had to throw the fastball. He throws it. He finds the fat part of the plate, the fat part of the bat, and the Reds are on top.
And Sabo is 5 out of 9 in World Series play. Benzinger, ball 1. Big crowd quiet. They seat 48,000 plus here in the Coliseum. That's a confident group of players there who've made the journey out here from Ohio, and it is ball 2.
Confident group of players, and they're facing a pitcher with not a lot of confidence in his fastball.
Benzinger gets one into the glove of Randolph. A very good play, and that prevents the 5th Cincinnati hit. Good play by Randolph. First out, second inning. Benzinger's the one that hit the ball hard to left that Ricky Henderson caught in game 2. So he's looking for his first hit.
That double play ball by Billy Hatcher, the biggest play so far in this game.
Now one of the heroes from the other evening, Joe Oliver, strike 1. Delivered the game-winning blow in the 10th inning, and he's 3 for 9. Tony said, we've got to get some hits. We've got to score some runs. That'll take care of everything, and we can do it. One ball, one strike. One ball, 2 strikes. On the bench there is Walt Weiss, who cannot play in this game because of the bad knee, and Jamie Quirk next to him. Breaking ball got Oliver. Second out of the inning. First strikeout for Moore.
I think from a psychological standpoint, you know, the Athletics come into the series. They're prohibitive favorites. And the Reds with just an element of doubt. And boy, did that doubt leave in a hurry. In game 1, first inning, home run by Eric Davis. Puts his bat down. He doesn't drop it. He knew it was out, and the Reds went on to win 7-0 and then 5-4 on Wednesday night. That was the big blow, though, that first one. It really opened the eyes of the Cincinnati Reds.
And Chris Sabo here tonight has stunned the A's with a leadoff homer in the second inning. This batter is Mariano Duncan, batting 9th, 1 for 6. Is mostly right-handed pitching from Oakland. Ball 1 strike. Duncan hit over 300 this season, 306. And again, we'll mention the absence of Bill Doran from the Cincinnati contingent of the back operation, so it's all Duncan and Ron Oster at second base. Long throw coming up by Gallego. Beautiful for the out there in the end. Home run by Sabo, however. After an inning and a half, the Reds are on top by the score of 1-0. Nothing here in the second inning. Dave Henderson, the leadoff man, against Tom Browning. He hit that one hard, and it is up against. It'll be a double as Eric Davis gets it back, and the fans love it here.
Who performed better in postseason play than he does during the regular season. His 3rd hit. Dave Henderson with 7 postseason home runs. We mentioned he was a member of the 86 Red Sox. But Dave Henderson continues to impress after the season's over. He loves this time of year.
Harold Baines, the designated hitter, is up. Wow, did he hit that one? Wow! Adios, and Oakland leads it 2-1. genius, putting the left-handed batter in as the DH against the left-handed pitcher, Tim. And the first one to McGuire and a swinging strike.
Well, Browning was the proper guy to put him in against. Browning throws over the top, and Baines gets underneath the fastball. Oh, did he hit it?
Ooh.
Brother,
sister, mama, papa, what a home run. McGuire 2 for 7. So now we've got the Bash brothers plus Baines.
Yeah, fly balls are nothing unusual to Tom Browning, but fly balls out of the ballpark, a home run, certainly wants to keep them in the park.
He evens the count against McGuire, 2-2.
Tom Browning recorded more outs in the air this year than any other major league pitcher. But look at his home run total. 24 home runs, the third highest in the National League.
McGuire stays up. And Tim, you said it earlier. Cincinnati in this park might have difficulty matching the home run power of Oakland.
Yeah, well, you've got Chris Sabo who's homered, but I think the big guys with the Athletics are less deterred by this ballpark. You've got McGuire, Canseco, Baines, Steinbach can take you deep. More guys have more power on the Athletics.
And the count 3-2 to McGuire with nobody out in this inning. Randolph will bat in this inning before it's over. That's the first strikeout for Browning.
Harold Baines, an acquisition by the A's on August 29th. He came over from Texas, and I think he hit this one back to Texas. Man.
You could hear the crack of the bat all over the place when he smoked it. Now Terry Steinbach, ball 1.
When you think of a guy like Harold Baines, you don't think of many home runs. He has 205 career home runs. And he had 3 off left-handed pitchers this year of his 16. That's a combined total of Texas and Oakland. You could chop that home run up into a lot of singles.
He's a very quiet man. He sits at the end of the bench, all business.
Went back, put his jacket on, sat down.
That's out of play foul. 2-1. Browning now the father of 3, and this fan has obviously been to a lot of postseason games. Steinbach laid off at the last moment, 3-1. Sabo stabs another line drive, and so Browning has had a little bit of luck going for him on some of the putouts, but not on the home run following the double by Dave Henderson.
I think both pitchers are being hit hard for the same reason. They're falling behind in the count, and they are having to come in with a fastball. Both Browning and Moore, they like to get ahead with the fastball and then expand the strike zone. Get the hitter out on balls. Get ahead with strikes, get them out on balls. They're doing just the reverse, both of them.
Willie Randolph and a strike. Sabo at third is probably saying, pitch him away, man. That ball is going to drop for the third Oakland hit. And this is where things are different in the American League. You look down, and instead of the pitcher coming up, you have the number 9 batter, Gallego.
And Willie Randolph with his second hit of the series. And both pitchers, we continue to say, they are being hit very, very hard. Hey, you don't know about Tom Browning. You don't know whether he wants to win one for Tucker. Obviously, he does, but you don't know whether he's too excited to win one for his newborn 2-day-old little boy who was born 12/27 yesterday morning. Tom didn't get to bed till 5:30. Obviously not a lot of sleep the last 2 days. Left the ball game early the other night.
And a strike to Gallego.
Lou Piniella was running out of pitchers.
Where is he? never did come back to the ballpark, by the way. Oakland fans want more with 2 out, and Gallego hits it to Sabo. It ends the inning, but a good one for the A's. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 left. After 2, the A's lead it 2-1. Pictures, and here we are in Game 3. This is Barry Larkin. It'll be the #1 hitter in each lineup in the 3rd inning. 2-1 Oakland. And Larkin singled his first time. Pops this one up. And the catcher, Steinbach, has the play. A great ball player in the American League. Here's Billy Hatcher. They finally got him out. He hit into a double play in the first. He's 7 out of 8. Missed the breaking pitch.
Technique of a catcher on a pop fly is you take the mask off and you don't throw the mask too quickly. Otherwise, you stumble all over the mask. That was a routine play. You don't want to throw that mask too quickly. You find the ball, hold the mask, throw the mask, catch the ball. That's the technique.
You forgot one thing.
What?
Hit the umpire with the mask.
That's a no-no.
They don't like that. 1 out here in the 3rd. He starts another streak. Billy Hatcher starts another streak. A 1-out single. Talk about being on fire. He's a good base runner. He stole 30 during the year. That's 5 base hits against Mike Moore. This fella has 1 of them. He'll single to right his first time. Hitting room through the right side as they hold against Hatcher. 1 on, 1 out. Rather short lead by the runner. Ball 1. Blowing away ball 2. Looked like Moore wanted that call but didn't get it.
Well, again, falling behind to a fastball situation. That's what both pitchers have done so far, and both starters are working like they're not long for this game.
It's the way it seems. Cincinnati has 5 hits. The A's have 3. The A's lead 2-1. Ball 3. Crowd groans. Hurts Bedlam man. Who's next? Eric Davis. Strike.
One of the big differences between Mike Moore this year and last year, he struck out 100 fewer hitters this year than he did last year while walking about the same. You can see his earned run average last year, a little over 2.6, about 2 runs down this year.
3-1. Runner going. And off the glove of McGuire. Hatcher scoots on to third, first and third with 1 out. Too hot to handle. We'll see how they rule that one. If it is a hit, it'll be the 6th for Cincinnati.
And the 2nd for Paul O'Neill. That ball was scorched. I think it's going to be a base hit. See, McGuire, this ball hit very hard, and it just goes right through the webbing and should be a base hit. Granted, it was right at him, but he had little time to react. Hatcher looking back, and now he looks toward the outfield, and watch him look to see where the ball is. And now he scampers to third. It's an error, and a tough error. Oh, boy.
Well, it had to be one or the other, and the scorers think that McGuire could have handled it, should have handled it. Now, tying runs at third. Leading run at first with 1 out here in the 3rd inning. They've hit some balls hard against Mike Moore. Davis single to right his first time. He wants at least a fly ball to tie this game. Ball 1. Well, the Reds beat Stewart, and they beat the combination of Welch and Eckersley. They're hitting this pitcher hard. Moore has one. And 2.
The last time they tried to go up the ladder on Davis, and he hit a single to right field. See how they try to pitch him here. Davis likes the ball below his hands.
Another fastball.
Up.
2-2. Tony La Russa, we chatted with him before the game. You've been busy? He said yes. Autographing baseballs and taking care of tickets. Tickets. Driving him crazy. First and third, one out. Shot to center. That ball drops. We're tied, and O'Neill heads for third. The throw by Dave Henderson. Offline, and Davis down to second. Davis is 2 for 2 on RBI single. And 6 hits against Moore. And second and third, one out.
They tried to go up with a fastball, and Moore got it up, but he puts it out over the plate. You see how Davis reaches for the ball. Dave Henderson really should have gone to second base with this ball. When a center fielder has to go toward right center, he has to stop, throw back across his body. He can't get a lot on the throw, and Henderson misses the cutoff man, and for that reason Davis goes to second. So alert base running and good hitting by Eric Davis. We've got a tie ball game.
And a big threat as La Russa goes to the mound to talk it over and sends Scott Sanderson down to the bullpen to warm up.
The one thing, since Sanderson was a starting pitcher, Tony La Russa said the one thing he's learned about Sanderson is that he can warm up in a hurry. He told
Outfield straight away, infielders back at second and short and first. Third baseman could have a play at the plate. Morris fouls one. He grounded to first his first time. He was 1 out of 8 in the series. He's a Hoosier from Indiana. Chris Sabo, who homered earlier in this game, waits on deck. They have a base open. See how they pitch to Morris. And he hits it to first, and a run scores without a play, and the Reds regain the lead 3-2. Morris with an infield out drives home the third Cincinnati run as O'Neill scored, and Eric Davis went to third.
Morris jammed with the fastball, and with 1 out, runners at second and third, the infield back. Paul O'Neill scores easily without a play as Davis moves to third.
And it's 3-2 Cincinnati here in the third inning. Moore will work from the stretch and not worry about Eric Davis and pitch to Sabo. Low. Sabo hit one over the boards his first time, and he is 5 out of 9. He's rapidly becoming one of the hitting heroes. And it is ball 2.
Lou Piniella, talking about Chris Sabo before the game, said if he swings at strikes, he's one of our best hitters. His problem, going out of the strike zone. He swings at too many bad balls.
He corks another to left field, sending Ricky Henderson back, but not far enough. Another home run for Sabo, and it is 5-2. A 2-out home run makes it 5-2.
Manila. In the second inning, a solo homer, and then in the third, a 2-run homer.
Moore stays in here trying to get the final out of the third inning. And the batter is Benzinger.
There's one. That was in the second to lead off the second.
Now Benzinger takes the strike, and it's 1-1.
And the next one you just saw by the same guy, Chris Sabo, on a 2-0 pitch. Wow. And once again, Moore falling behind.
And the count goes to 2-1. Sabo is a lot like Harold Baines, who hit the Oakland home run. He's all business. Very little flair about him. He just does his work.
He hadn't been hitting any flares either.
No, and now he's 6 out of 10, and there's another hit. This one by Benzinger, his first in the series. 4 hits in the inning. How much more can you take, Tony? I think these fans have had about enough of this pitcher.
TKO right here. I think Moore's had enough. I would imagine that's what Tony La Russa is thinking right here. Yep, here he comes.
Gee. That is 8 base hits for Cincinnati.
Tentatively tonight. That's the reason the Reds have cashed in on it. Let's go back upstairs to Jack and Tim.
And it's Scott Sanderson pitching to Joe Oliver, a strikeout victim his first time. You know, this could have been worse. Cincinnati wasted 3 singles in the first inning, hit into a double play, and left 2 on. And they're on top 5-2, third inning. Remember something else, even though we're only in the third inning. Once they get a couple of more good innings out of Tom Browning, if they do, it's bullpen time for Cincinnati.
And the Cincinnati bullpen has given up 1 earned run in 27 2/3 innings in the postseason. Almost unhittable.
1-1 to Joe Oliver.
Saw the curveball from Sanderson. He's just the opposite of Mike Moore, who relied on fastball, split finger. A lot of breaking balls from Scott Sanderson.
Chris Sabo, the 7th player to hit home runs in 2 consecutive innings in World Series play. Oliver looks at ball 2. The others were Babe Ruth. He did it twice. Ted Kluszewski, Reggie Jackson, Willie Mays, Akins, and Dave Henderson.
Dave Henderson did it against the Giants last year in the series.
Sanderson trying to end the visitors' third. And the ball scoots away, and what else can go wrong for the A's tonight? Count 3-1 to the batter.
Sanderson goes to the low fastball, and it looks like Steinbach, his approach, whenever you see a catcher go after a ball in the dirt with a glove, it's the wrong approach. You don't try to catch it, you try to block it. He tried to backhand it, and that ball caroming off for a wild pitch on Scott Sanderson.
That was the ruling. Now a hit means another run for Cincinnati. And reach for that pitch, and it's 3-2. Sanderson used to be with Montreal and then the Cubs, and he won 17 for Oakland this year. Look from above at the not so happy scene here in the home park of the Oakland A's. But the Reds are having a good time. 8 base hits.
Cincinnati has taken the crowd out of this game for the time being.
Curveball and another hit and another run batted in. And that makes it 6-2. Oliver chugs for second, and he is safe. 6-2. And wild pitch hurts. 6 runs on 9 hits. Hear the racket in the Cincinnati dugout.
Oh, there are hangers and there are hangers. That was a hanger right there. That curveball staying right up around the waist. And Carney Lansford just missed it. As a matter of fact, he may have put a glove on it. Maybe. I think that ball did hit his glove. So even had that ball gone foul, it's still a fair ball because Lansford touched it in fair territory.
The 9th man to bat in the inning is Mariano Duncan. Sanderson slipped a fastball by him. Now the A's trail by 4.
Here's another look at that line drive by Joe Oliver. Now you see Lansford touches the ball right there. Had that ball caromed to foul, that's a fair ball because he touched it in fair territory.
The 4th hit of the World Series for Joe Oliver. Duncan could add to the lead. Ball 2. Goes to 3-1. LaRussa with the lineup posted nearby. He finds the top of his order ready to come up in the home half of the 3rd. It's not beyond Oakland to pull this one out. They're certainly in bad shape with 2 out. Duncan, a ball up the middle and another run. Oliver comes home and it's 7-2 and that run charge to Sanderson. Duncan got one up the middle. Cincinnati fans have made the trip.
Fastball on the outside corner, but once again behind in the count. How many times have we said that with the Oakland pitchers tonight? There's no strike 1, strike 2. They have been pitching behind in the count all night. And predictably, 7 runs on 10 hits, and we're only in the 3rd inning.
10 base knocks. There have been no walks given. There was an error early in this inning. There goes the runner, Duncan. There's the throw by Steinbach, and the save at second base. And Gallego is howling. Randy Marsh, the umpire.
Maybe second base umpire Randy Marsh is saying so many guys have been down here this inning. I guess this guy belongs here too.
Well, LaRussa has the explanation given to him with a great throw by Steinbach.
It was high, but a quick tag by Gallego. Duncan running. And you see he touched in between the arms, it appeared, but the throw did beat him. Usually you will get a call like that. The tag was there before the arms reached, but actually it was between both arms. Really a fine call by Randy Marsh. He tagged the ground between the arms.
Well, Marsh was insisting that he make the tag, and LaRussa says, hey, listen, he was running. My catcher got the throw. They put the glove down. You ought to call him out. Marsh said he didn't get him.
You see the throw from Steinbach high. Now watch the tag. He doesn't tag the arms. He tags the ground. Now, I don't know how Marsh could see it from there, to tell you the truth. But maybe he did. He made the right call, but he was in a bad position to make the right call.
So another hit means another run, and the batter is Larkin, who started this inning by fouling out to the catcher. And he's 1 for 2. Already been 6 hits in this inning, plus the error.
That's the biggest surprise in this game so far. Strike 1.
You're right. These pitchers have not been getting out in front. Two out. Duncan the runner. The ball to Larkin. 2-1. Paul O'Neill with the cap off. They did not lose a game this year in which they led by 5 or more. That's a reflection on their bullpen. Short and long relief. Larkin hits one in the gap, and that won't be caught. It is 8-2. Larkin's second hit. He's going for third with 2 out. And he is safe, and these Reds are pounding that ball. Seven hits in the inning.
And the cycle. The Reds have hit for the cycle in this inning. 4 singles, a double, a triple, and a home run. Pretty tough to do, hit for the cycle in 1 inning. This is a team cycle right here. And a bad cycle for the Oakland Athletics, by the way. Man,
Since Sanderson has come in, he has allowed 3 base hits. He's been unable to get the 3rd out. And ball 1 to Hatcher. And if Oakland loses, they'll be down 3-0, and no team has ever come back in a World Series to win after trailing 3-0. 8-2. Finally, 7 runs in the inning on 7 hits and an 8-2 lead, and we'll return to Oakland Coliseum after this word from your local station. A view of the Bay Area from the Goodyear Blimp Columbia. The captain is John Creighton of Torrance. Does is take away some of Ricky Henderson's game. Makes him not quite so important. Strike 1 to him. He lined to 3rd his first time. Well, some pitchers know how to handle prosperity. Let's see if Tom Browning does so. He's leading 8-2. He hit it well, very well, and out of the ballpark, making it 8-3.
I guess you could caption that bashing after the bashing. That elbow bash. I tell you, Ricky Henderson is full of substance. There's the substance, and here comes the style.
And it brings out yeah, nice little dance around the bases there, didn't it? Harold Baines picking out a bat. Henderson on the bench.
I know this sounds funny, but it's easier to hit when you're that far.
And ball 1 from Browning. And Scott Scudder in the bullpen, as Lou Piniella says he's not going to let this one get away if he can help it. Lansford lined to center his first time, and he takes ball 2. We have an 8-3 game with the Reds on top, and we're only in the 3rd inning. Shortstop Larkin. Runs on. Talking to some of the infielders. Talked to Walt Weiss, actually. We look at Larkin. They said this infield is in terrific shape. He said not for the hitters because the ball slows down, but for the fielders, it's terrific. Now, Jim Cott, what do you look for from Tom Browning in a spot like this?
Well, Tim was talking about how many fly balls Tom Browning throws. Most of the time with pitchers, they say keep the ball down, but when he throws it down, it goes out of the ballpark. He's got to throw the ball up, and he hasn't been doing that.
He's thrown 2 home run balls tonight. Canseco hits it foul out of play to even the count 1-1.
And the reason Jim says that is because Tom Browning holds the ball across the seams. His ball doesn't go down. He doesn't throw a sinker. Some pitchers are overly enamored. They're trained in the minor leagues to keep the ball down. A guy like Tom Browning is not one of those pitchers. He's a high ball pitcher, and that's why he gets a lot of fly balls.
2 of them have gone too far. Late swing by Canseco. 1-2. Jose fouled out his first time. A's have been out hit 11-4. And I tell you, you couldn't quarrel with any of the hits by Cincinnati. Fly ball to short center and Hatcher. 2 out. From the Goodyear Blimp, sunset in the East Bay area. Canseco back to the bench with 2 out. Here's Dave Henderson, doubled and scored in the 2nd. And the screwball got him on the first swing. has to go 5 to be credited with the victory. He's got 2 out here in the 3rd. Gets a struck 2 past Henderson and another Scroogie. One and 2. And what a fine play by Sabo. He gets the out. That was terrific. 1 run, 1 hit, the homer by Ricky Henderson. We have played 3, and the Reds lead it 8-3. Well, these Oakland A's certainly need some pitcher to put the clamps on Cincinnati. They beat Dave Stewart. They hit well against Welch. There's Ricky Henderson. He's doing all that he can do. He just made the score 8-3 with a home run. He needs some help. And they need some pitching. They beat Eckersley after hitting Welch and beating Stewart. They chase Moore, and they continue the onslaught against Scott Sanderson. He's charged with 2 of the runs. The Reds have scored, and ball 1 to Paul O'Neill. O'Neill hit a ball past first base. It was charged an error to McGuire. Therefore, only 2 of the 8 runs are earned for Cincinnati. Now ball 2.
Six of those 8 runs, by the way, 6 of those 7 runs that were scored after 2 out.
That's right. It was a home run by Sabo. Base hit by Bendlinger, wild pitch, double by Oliver, base hit by Duncan, stolen base, triple by Larkin. And O'Neill gets a walk. That's the first given to Cincinnati. Joe Klink is on his feet and warming up for the 2nd time in the Oakland bullpen. Tony La Russa tries to find a pitcher who can stop the Reds. Three of the 4 innings, they have put their leadoff man on, and Davis is 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. Ball 1. There's the pitching coach, Dave Duncan.
Runs, only 1 walk in 3+ innings now, but sometimes there are things worse than walks. Throwing strikes on 3-1 counts, 2-0 counts, 1-0.
Popped up foul by Davis, out of play, 1-1.
Hands that low to get it back up in the hitting zone. That's why they try to pitch him up.
Wondering if these Reds are going to do some running. There goes O'Neill. The pitch inside and no play. A stolen base, and even though they lead 8-3, they are not sitting on that lead.
No, they realize the Athletics are certainly capable of scoring 4-5 runs in the next 6 innings. Tack-on time.
Now that man's on its 2nd with nobody out. It takes away the double play. You almost had the feeling when you watched the Oakland team on the field that they thought that even if they fell behind 2-0, they'd still come back and win it easily. Didn't you, Tim?
Yeah, they were very, very confident. However, I don't know if you're going to see that confidence tomorrow if they fall behind 3 games tonight.
They're getting the message now. Here's a foul ball out of.
Those are the facts.
Runner at 2nd, nobody out, 2-2 to Davis. He's after his 3rd hit of this game. Eight runs, 11 hits, 1 error, 1 walk. The Reds have been efficient. They left only 3. They did hit into a double play. Davis hacks it foul past 3rd. What can a manager do? This pitcher blows out in the third inning of a game. He's in bad shape. Anderson working slowly. Leadoff walk, stolen base. 3-2. Cincinnati's been doing to this vaunted Oakland pitcher. They're not really respectable. Stewart, Welch, Eckersley, Moore, Sanderson. It's still 3-2. Sunday NFL for the game in your area. Eric Davis fouls another, stays up there with a 3-2 count. Sanderson in relief of Mike Moore. He's already been charged with 2 of the 8 Cincinnati runs. Runner stays. Out at first, 1 gone. And there's something for the A's fans to cheer about. Lansford throws out Davis. Here comes the manager, Tony La Russa. He has Joe Klink in the bullpen, and he wants the left-hander. Runner at second, 1 out. Reds leading 8-3.
Not anymore. Thanks for joining us. Let's back to you guys. A lot of tickets there, huh?
Yeah.
$8 for a ticket. The batter is Hal Morris, first up against Joe Klink, who had no wins, no losses, and 1 save in 40 games. So they used him judiciously. He falls behind in the count, 2-0. That's Paul O'Neill on at second with 1 out. Klink, the third pitcher of the night for Oakland. Hal Morris 0 for 2 with an RBI. That's a strike. And Jim Cock, what about this pitcher, Klink?
Well, like you said, Tony La Russa uses Klink judiciously. Just situations like this because he's got a real good curveball, and La Russa knows with Browning on the mound, he wants to keep this thing close. They still got a shot at it.
Real good curveball, Jim tells us, and the foul makes it 2-2.
Yeah, he's thrown 4 in a row, and you can throw it 2-0, 2-1. You realize what his best pitch is. Funny, Hal Morris, the designated hitter tonight, Lou Piniella said that he was the DH and Todd Bensinger the first baseman, because if they do bring in a left-hander in a tight ball game, he can make a switch. Whereas Bensinger's a switch hitter, and you can keep your first baseman in the game. So Lou Piniella talking about a DH, I guess he should know he was the first DH in the World Series back in 1976. Doubled off Don Gullett.
3-2 to Hal Morris. That's all he's getting is curveballs, isn't he?
Hal Morris, on the other hand, has never had an extra base hit against a left-handed pitcher.
Ever? In the big league?
Nada.
Batted .340. You think it hits some left-handers hard.
That's an 84 at bats.
That one just missed, and that's ball 4. 2 walks in the inning, 2 on, 1 out. Here comes Sabo. Here comes La Russa.
Back-to-back home runs for Chris Sabo to lead off the second inning. This one off Mike Moore. That made it 1-0 Cincinnati. And then to extend their lead in the third inning, a 2-run shot on a 2-0 pitch from Mike Moore. So 2 home runs back-to-back for Sabo.
Sabo is up for the third time. Tony Perez hit 2 in Game 5, and then Johnny Bench hit 2 in Game 4. There's Perez. And Hall of Famer Johnny Bench, working with Vince Scully, is the other to hit 2 home runs in a World Series game.
He was the most valuable player in the 1976 World Series. The Reds swept the New York Yankees, and Bench held the highest batting average ever by a Cincinnati Reds player in postseason, 8 for 15. And Gene Nelson, the sinker baller, is in there. Nelson appeared in Game 1 of this World Series. The much-traveled Gene Nelson. Good sinker and can induce the ground ball, and that's why he's in this situation. Tony La Russa.
Think there'll be a game Sunday? Who knows? Sabo, 2 on, 1 out. And he skies it into right center field. Chased by Dave Henderson, and he got there for the out. The runner tags at second. First and third, 2 out. Oakland people probably saying, Sabo, you've done enough damage already. 2 home runs, 3 RBIs.
Fastball on the inside part. I'll tell you, you like to see a hitter do that, even though this is an out. After hitting 2 home runs, sometimes guys who don't hit a lot of home runs become overly conscious of that and try to jerk too many balls.
Benzinger will determine now whether the Reds are going to add to their lead, which is 8-3, 4th inning. Benzinger has a hit, 1 for 4 in the series. 0 for 3 against Nelson during his career. Used to play with the Red Sox. That's a low ball, too. Over at third base, O'Neill, who walked. Over at first, Morris, who walked. A couple of walks to go with 11 hits for Cincinnati tonight, plus an error. Benzinger pops it up, and the left fielder Ricky Henderson wants it. The Reds have left 5, but they lead 8-3. Then the home run by Ricky Henderson made it 8-3. That's where we are now. And the batter is Harold Baines. Hit a massive home run his first time up. There's Bill White, president of the National League. There's Dr. Bobby Brown, president of the American League. 2-1 the count. This is the first time that Baines has started, and Dr. Brown's club is behind 2 games to none and 8-3 in this one. 2-2. What are these A's going to do about it? John Browning has allowed 4 hits. And he got one in there for a strikeout. Same emotion expressed by Baines, whether it's a home run or a strikeout. Right back with 7, and the Ricky Henderson home run. Here's McGuire. 0-1.
The one thing Browning did to Baines that last at bat, he threw him a 2-2 screwball. And most of the time, left-handers don't throw that to left-handed hitters.
Popped up for Benzinger. That's 2 out. Marissa told us before the game tonight, we've got to score some runs. Well, we scored 3, and that's not nearly enough at this point. Harry Steinbach lined out to third base his first time. Batting with 2 out in the 4th. He gets ahead. He knows what to do with the lead. Oakland's left only 1. Hard screwed you that time. Strike 2.
Yeah, that's the advantage of getting ahead. A hitter is more inclined to chase a ball out of the strike zone when he's behind in the count, and Tom Browning knows that. That screwball is about 6 inches outside. Get ahead with strikes, get them out with balls.
he was forced to swing at it, and Sabo throws him out. Forced to swing at it because of that 2-strike count. Now we played 4. 8-3 Cincinnati.
Of the last batters faced by Oakland pitchers, the first pitch has been a ball, and that was a ball too.
This ball stays fair. Stays fair off the bat of Joe Oliver. He doesn't get many infield hits, but he got one there against Gene Nelson. And that's how badly things are going for Oakland. I bet you see Joe Oliver smile here in a moment.
Hey, it looked like that ball was going to go foul. A check swing right here. And watch the ball. It hits the edge of the grass. It starts to go foul. And then it comes back. The infield obviously doctored for to keep the bunt or a ball that rolls down the line fair. Look at that.
The leadoff hit by Oliver, his second of the night, and the 12th hit for Cincinnati. And Nelson counters one by Duncan. He's 1 for 2. Everybody except Hal Morris in the Cincinnati lineup has a hit. Duncan drove in a run with 2 out in the 3rd. A double play ball booted by Gallego, gets 1 and safe at first. Well, Gallego had it come up on him, and they missed the double play.
Infielders are taught to stay below the hop, and watch how Gallego goes down. Glove on the ground, but the ball came up. Hits him in the chest. They do get the lead runner, Oliver, but Duncan is safe at first.
And the Reds tried to do some running, and in fact they did do some running in the 4th inning with the score 8-3, and they'll probably try again with Duncan. Larkin is up. He's 2 for 3 with a run batted in. We'll see how he fares tomorrow night. His opponent will be Dave Stewart.
Now, the way the Reds have been swinging the bats, I think that blister is going to heal in a hurry overnight. And if not, you're going to have everybody in the Cincinnati bullpen ready to go tomorrow night, the way these guys are hammering away.
They won 7-0. They won 5-4. Now they've scored 8 runs tonight. There goes the runner. They pitch out, and a terrible throw into center field, and Duncan can't advance. And now what do we have? Interference? Do we have an interference call? The catcher, Steinbach, was hit by that swing from Larkin. Now, did he leave the batter's box to take the swing? He did, and we have an interference call.
I think he made contact on Steinbach. Watch the pitch out right here. Usually if a throw is this bad, something unusual happened, and watch the swing. That's interference. He hit the glove.
The runner comes back.
Terry Steinbach, look how far out of the catcher's box he is. Yeah, I think he hit him in the back with the bat. Why isn't that interference on the catcher, though? That's the thing. If you hit if a batter swings the bat and it hits the catcher's mitt, it's interference. I guess he's saying Steinbach was so far out of the box, but was he up too far? That's what Lou Piniella.
I think that's what he's saying, because
right.
Larkin did not leave the batter's box.
No, that's right.
It was the catcher who left his position and got in the way of the swing by Larkin. He is out for interference, and the runner back to first, 2 out. And Piniella is arguing, I think, correctly with Jim Quick. They probably won't change the call. Steinbach was up even with home plate.
Yeah, right. That's what you do on a pitch out. A catcher has it. He gets about even with the hitter. Watch Steinbach how he not only jumps out, but he moves up, and he's ready to throw the ball. That was a delayed swing by Larkin, however, and because of that, the throw is high. And Steinbach had his left arm hit by the bat of Barry Larkin.
Lou Piniella loses this argument. It's the second out of the inning, put out to the catcher. Interference on Larkin, the runner back to first, 2 out. But Larkin's feet were still planted in the batter's box.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't go out of the batter's box, so you can certainly understand Pinella's argument.
You know, it's a funny thing. CBS has employed Bruce Fremming to be with us to talk about these calls.
Yeah.
But the umpire...
If this were a close game, you'd see a more heated argument out of Lou Piniella.
Yeah, he wouldn't be back on the bench even now.
No. Here it is once more. Now Steinbach not only steps out, but up. He's about even with the plate. Now Larkin didn't leave the batter's box, so when he swings, he hits Steinbach. So why is Larkin out? Technically, that could have been called catcher error on the catcher, and Larkin awarded first base.
Hatcher pops it up to the right side, and Willie Randolph wants it. And with the help of the interference call, no runs, 1 hit and 1 left. The Reds have left 6, but they lead 8-3. Seven in the third has Cincinnati on top by the score of 8-3. And I would say that Chris Sabo has a leg up on that award. Willie Randolph, batting 8th, leads it off. And a fly ball to center fielder Hatcher. 7 in a row retired by Tom Browning, who protects the 8-3 lead. And Randolph is 1 for 3. There's Kurt Young warming up to become the 5th pitcher of the night for the A's.
So one thing with the designated hitter rule, you could just run pitchers out there all day. Deplete your staff. You don't have to pinch hit for anybody.
Keep the bench intact. There's a bunt. That stays fair. Sabo got him with a fine play. That's 8 in a row retired by Browning, and a fine play by Sabo.
And I think Sabo lets this ball roll foul had he not seen the ball that was the check swing of Joe Oliver. That ball looked like it was going foul. Sabo, realizing that Oliver's check swing stayed fair, fielded it quickly and throws out Gallego rather easily. That's what anticipation will do. Unless the third baseman's playing closely like Sabo was.
And they told us that because the infield is so good, it slows the ball down, that the third baseman can play in it. Piniella told us that's what we're going to do tonight. There are 2 gone. Henderson lined to third, hit a home run. That's with 2 out. Ball 2. Henderson's home run in the third was the last run of this game. Browning will make him swing the bat, leading by 5. There's ball 3.
That was in postseason play. Tom Browning working about 17 innings, and look at that. 9 ground balls that were outs, 3 a game, 28 outs in the air, and 7 strikeouts.
Things don't change. A's strike 3-1.
That's the Browning automatic right there.
Hey. Some pitchers lose their concentration when they get way out in front. It hasn't happened for this left-hander. There's a high fly ball into left field, into the corner, curving foul, and going out of play. 3-2. Some leadoff hitter.
Ricky hit it down off the end of the bat. Thought maybe I have enough of it. Maybe. Well, I'll run anyway. Well, foul ball.
He hit 28 home runs during the regular season. Some leadoff man. And he gets back in with a 3-2 count. Bottom of the 5th, 8-3 Cincy. Back to the screen. That's the first walk from Browning to go with 4 Oakland hits. That's all.
It's a key batter right here. 2 out, Henderson on first. You really try to forget about Ricky Henderson right now, because if Lansford gets on, you've got Canseco on deck. You've got a 5-run lead. Henderson represents 1 run, and 1 run only.
Ball on to Lansford.
You start worrying about Henderson, you fall behind Lansford, and he gets on, then Canseco could pop one out of the ballpark, and the A's are right back in it. That's at least the thinking I think Browning should have right now.
Lansford hits a foul, and it's 1-1. At the first hint of trouble, and this was a 2-out walk by Browning, Lou Piniella was scrambled that bullpen again. He has Scudder down there, Armstrong. Now we're in the 5th inning. You get around to Charlton, Dibble, and Myers, and Mailer. He's in great shape. 1-2. And he still has Browning pitching rather well. 4 hits and a walk. They asked Browning why he pitches better on the road. He says, because I have some little kids who don't sleep.
He's got another one.
Now he's got 3. Runner going. Pitch out. Nothing doing. Third base on the error by Oliver.
Well, here again, you have 2 strikes on the hitter with 2 outs. Why pitch out? You've got to throw Ricky out anyway. You pitch out, you get him, and then you don't make a good throw, and Henderson ends up on third base. Now it's 2-2 to Lansford.
These A's have to start pecking away. We're in the 5th inning, and they trail by 5, and anybody they leave on base. Going to be very costly for them.
Throwing error, by the way, on Joe Oliver, the first of the game for the Reds.
Each team has an error. McGuire, Oliver. Out of play. Still 2-2. Baines on the bench wearing the jacket. He did his bit in the 2nd inning, a 2-run homer, and Oakland led 2-1 after 2. Base hit would get a rise out of this crowd right here. Base on balls, 3-2.
Paul O'Neill is so shallow in right field. Lansford does not have a lot of power the other way. It's proper defense to play the off fielder. Very shallow, and that's why O'Neill is almost playing a deep second now.
3-2. Out of play. A walk in this inning, that's all. Stolen base and an error. Oakland needs hits.
Remember the 1-2 pitch out? The 1-2 pitch out could have been the pitch that Lansford's out with.
You're right.
You pitch out with Henderson, and you allow Henderson to dominate an inning in an 8-3 ball game. And now you got 2 on, and you're in trouble.
Ball up. At third base, having walked, it's Ricky Henderson. Lansford walked. He's at first. 4 hits, 2 walks. That's the Oakland offense to this point. Out of play. Russo wants the big hit.
Canseco is just not getting around on that fastball. Didn't get around on one at Riverfront the other night, but hit it out to right field. That's how strong he is.
These Oakland fans know they might not get many more chances. There's Harold Baines. Hoping that Canseco does what he did. Here comes Lou Piniella. He may have had enough of Browning. who, if lifted here, cannot be the winner. You don't get extra chances. There's Scudder in the bullpen. Scott Scudder.
And Lou Pinella's worried more about wins than feelings.
You're right. He's going to leave him in to pitch to Canseco. 8-3. 2 on, 2 out. 2 balls, a strike. Postseason, Canseco's 0 for 6 with runners on base. Two and two, had a good swing. Still can't catch up with it, though.
No, that's right. He's hitting his foul balls are going back the other way. If he were drilling those balls foul down the left field line, he would be out in front of those pitches. But here's a 2-1 fastball from Browning that he indeed had a good cut on, but he fouled it back the other way. That means he's not catching up to the fastball.
Browning has walked 2 in the inning. Arusa. Right field corner. O'Neill is there. The inning's over. That was a fair ball. Oakland leads 2. They've left 3. After 5, they trail by 5-8-3. And we'll return to Oakland Coliseum after this word from your local station. The bat of Canseco leading off and skying one for Ricky Henderson to get to. 1 out and 1 away in the 6th. That was some play that Ricky made in a losing cause the other night, Game 2 at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. This fella can do a lot of things.
Yeah, you may remember that catch. The ball hit by Todd Bensinger, and Henderson back, and he had it in the palm of his glove, and now he snow cones it. And shows the ball to no one in particular in left field.
He is a character with Gene Nelson on the hill. Ball 1 to Eric Davis, who's 2 for 3 with a run batted in. He drove in the first run in the 3rd inning. That tied the game 2-2 at that time. It's one to the left of Willie Randolph. Scoops it up nicely and throws him out with a good throw. A's fan keeping score. Unfortunately, too many base hits for the Reds on that score sheet. 12 hits for Cincinnati. They've scored 7 runs, 5 runs, 8 runs. Al Morris, 1 out of 9 in World Series play. 6 runs against Mike Moore, 2 against Scott Sanderson, none against Joe Klink, none against Nelson. McGuire by himself. And goes Cincinnati in order for the first time in this game, with the Reds lead it 8-3. Pretty scene, but the A's fans are unhappy. And Oakland left 2 men out in the 5th. They bat in the 6th with Dave Henderson. Dave Henderson, Harold Baines, and Mark McGuire. And Tom Browning has gone all the way, allowed only 4 hits. He's walked 2. Henderson has doubled and scored, 1 for 2. Screwball, 1-1. Loves postseason play. Henderson was talking with Ernie Banks before the game. Poor Ernie, never got.
Ernie Banks, a Hall of Famer, MVP 2 straight years in 58 and 59. Mr. Cub. Certainly one of the more popular players that's ever played the game of baseball.
He's on hand at the game tonight. 2-2 to Henderson. Sabo fielding flawlessly at third, gets his man. Let's hear from Jim Cott at this stage of the proceedings. Jim, what do you have?
Well, Jack and Tim, the team that they've had to play in the last few years.
Cincinnati is certainly proving their worth in all departments, pitching and hitting.
Everybody has contributed, and I think that game on Wednesday night is indicative of what Jim was talking about. Balance throughout. Even Billy Bates scoring the winning run. His first hit against a right-handed pitcher in his career. His first hit as a Red. He didn't even have a hit in the regular season.
A lot of room to chase foul balls here, and Sabo's there again. He's all over the place tonight, including all over the bases, with a couple of home runs.
Big difference in the Dodgers 2 years ago beating the A's. I mean, the A's ran into a miracle by Kirk Gibson and a red-hot pitcher in Oral Hershiser. Good play by Sabo, running off Oliver.
I think Oliver was happy to hear him coming in.
It's a much easier play with that glove and coming into the ball.
So McGuire bats with the bases empty. He's 0 for 2 and 2 for 9. Browning mowing him down, gets out in front. Earlier in this game, the Cincinnati left-hander retired 8 in a row. Now 3 in a row. And strike 2.
Hey, the Athletics were supposed to dominate in this series, and they are being dominated.
Turn the tables on. 1 and 2. Pitchers tomorrow night. The first game pitchers. Stewart might have everything dumped in his lap against Rijo. He didn't go around, and it is 2 and 2. Turn time here on CBS Sports, and a well-hit ball for a base knock by McGuire with 2 out. I'll hold him to a single. Eric Davis gets to it.
How about that? Eric Davis fields a base hit to left field in the middle of the warning track near the line, and Mark McGuire has a single. Seen balls ricochet off the wall and come back to the left fielder. Look where Eric Davis fields this ball. It shows the range of Davis, but it also shows you how deep he was playing. Middle of the warning track, just a single for McGuire.
That's how deep they play for Mark. Now the A's need a big hit from somebody. Steinbach is up. Line to third, grounded to third. Hit 9 home runs this season. Every time they get a man on, the warning signs go up. There's Sabo again. He hasn't done anything wrong tonight, and he's done a lot right. 1 left for the A's, who've left 4. We played 6, 8-3 Cincinnati.
Billy Bates, the infielder that scored the winning run on Wednesday night in the 10th inning. What a thrill.
He's out in the bullpen with Rob Dibble, and here we go into the 7th inning, and Chris Sabo is up. Well, what has he done? He's been terrific in the field. He's hit 2 home runs, driven in 3. He's 2 for 3. And he's 6 out of 11 in this series.
Billy Bates became the first non-pitcher in the history of baseball to get a postseason hit for a team for which he has never had a regular season hit. The first guy to get a hit in the postseason when he didn't get a hit in the season. That's amazing.
And we remember he was thrown out trying to steal second by Mike LaValliere in the playoff against Pittsburgh.
In game 1 as a trail runner.
The little guy only 5'7". Sabo leading it off. And a strike. I'm reminded of Freddie Pontek, a little infielder, played for so long and so well in the American League. They said, what does it feel like to be the smallest player in the big leagues? He said, it's better than being the smallest player in the minor leagues. 3-2 to Sabo. Sabo leading it off. Benzinger and Oliver to follow. Oakland warms up another, Todd Burns. They've already used Moore, Sanderson, Klink, and Nelson. Sabo was trying for another home run, wasn't he? Hits that ball foul and out of play. And we're right back here at 8 for game 4. Still 3-2 on Chris Sabo. I talked to Sabo as they were going down the stretch and struggling a little bit. The Reds were. He said, we'll find out. Tim and I were there. And he said, we'll find out if we're good enough or not. Time will tell. Gets it fouled again.
Talked to Lou Piniella and telling Lou before the game about how loose the Reds appeared. Not because they were winning, but because of their approach in the games. And Lou said, you know, in the second half of the season, a part of the season in which they finished only one game above 500, he said, we played tight baseball. We were not loose. We weren't relaxed. We were trying too hard. We were trying to justify our fast start. He said, but we're loose now. We did not come into this series just to be opponents of the Oakland Athletics, just to give them a little work. We came in to beat them. They have.
Sabo stays up there. Right, he said, I thought if we got into the playoffs, we'd play better than we had all season. He was right. We're sitting pretty. You folks back home in Cincinnati may have seen your last games at Riverfront Stadium this year. That's the way the team wants it. So Sabo reaches for the 3rd time tonight. That's the first walk by Nelson. Benzinger has a hit tonight. Strike 1 to him. He's 1 for 5 in the series. Cincinnati with that 7-run 3rd really took the crowd out of this one. Picked something off that one. Strike 2.
I think the satisfying thing about this whole series for Lou Piniella, not necessarily that he's winning, but because he's winning, he's proving he can manage. Something that one guy in New York didn't think he could do, George Steinbrenner.
Wire to wire, beat the Pirates. Winning here, 0-2 to Benzinger. Well, we hope Larry Barnett, the umpire, is feeling better. I saw him before the game, said hello. And the next thing we knew, he had to leave the premises. Piniella puts on miles in that dugout during the game. Sabo, the runner.
Gene Nelson, formerly with the New York Yankees, by the way, has done a good job. Much akin to applying the tourniquet, however, after all the blood's gone.
A lot of damage has been done here. 12 Cincinnati hits. Benzinger hits it hard, and Randolph made a great play and a great double play. Nice double play started by Willie Randolph. 2 out in the 7th.
Sabo had to hold up.
Just walked over there, got the force out. Ball 1 to Oliver. Joe is 2 for 3 tonight. Willie Randolph. You don't hurt when you play him at second. Oliver now has 5 hits, 5 out of 12 in the series. Ball 2. Well, the A's have 3 more chances. Willie Randolph, who we just saw a moment ago, will lead it off in the bottom of the 7th. They'll take their time with Oliver running, and the inning is over. 7th inning stretch time.
Screwball, if you try to pull it, you hit it softly to the left side of the infield, and Randolph went with it. And I think Rob Dibble will probably be in this game before this inning's over.
It's like reading an old book, but a good book with regard to Cincinnati. 7th inning, Dibble.
Look at the hitting by Willie Randolph. That ball away, and Willie going the other way. You saw the graphic. He's now 10 for 18 lifetime against Tom Browning.
Let's see how far they go with Browning as Oliver goes out there to stall a little bit and talk it over. And Dibble cranks it up in the bullpen.
And they're giving him all the time he needs. We've talked about how rapidly he gets warm. I doubt that he'll be brought in to face Gallego, but maybe he will.
Here comes the pitching coach.
You had Sabo go out and talk to Browning, and then Oliver went out and talked to Browning, and now Williams out to talk to Browning. The reason I said that is Dibble is a high ball pitcher, and Gallego diminutive in stature. Going to bring him in.
Okay, Rob.
For the postseason this year, and none in the last 26 innings.
Rob Dibble will be confronted with a pinch hitter. Willie McGee will bat for Mike Gallego, who is 0 for 2. In the 7th inning, and Cincinnati has an 8-3 lead. Leadoff single by Willie Randolph. Look what McGee has done against Dibble. Ball 1. Great job by Tom Browning, the new daddy. 6 innings, 3 runs, 6 hits, struck out 2, walked 2. Leaves a man on base. McGee will try to solve Dibble. Willie would like to play here next year. He'll be a free agent. This is his hometown. There's ball 2.
Talked about Dibble's wildness, and he can be wild when he first enters a game. You mentioned that with Gallego, and of course McGee now pinch hitting for Gallego. So I would assume he'll be taking here.
5 runs down. We'll put the radar on Dibble. 3-0 to Willie. The noise level will rise if he joins Randolph on base here in the 7th. 3-1. That was 95 miles an hour. You going to take another, Willie? First base, Randolph, bottom of the 7th, 8-3 Cincinnati. That's 3-2. And Willie stung his hands with that one and hit it off the end.
A little surprised that Todd Bensinger's holding Randolph on at first base, a 5-run lead. He may be running here because the count's 3-2, but he's not going to get a jump on a 3-2 pitch anyway. And that's the reason you hold him on, to keep him from getting a good jump.
Big at bat. McGee up there. Runner going, strikeout, and safe at second. Well, Randolph stays at second. McGee strikes out for the first out. Dibble came back and got him on a stolen base for Randolph. He started to go to third and decided he'd better stay.
And McGee going after ball 4, that ball up and out of the strike zone away as Randolph steals a base, the second steal of the night. From that look, it looked like it was low enough. The naked eye, it looked like it was high, and Randolph hurtling over Mariano Duncan, and Larkin retrieved the ball so rapidly that held Randolph to second.
These A's need some hits. A hit by Randolph in this inning was only their 6th of the game. They trail by 5, and Rickey is up. He is homered, walked, and lined out.
I think they nail him.
Right, they would have had him. And a late swing by Henderson. I think he likes to talk to himself. What will Rickey give us here? 1 ball, 2 strikes. Frequently, Dibble will throw that slider when he's ahead on the count, and it can be a pitch that really freezes hitters.
Yeah, really a two-pitch pitcher, fastball and slider that goes away from Ricky Henderson. Let's see if he gets it here. Yep.
He got him with a slider. That's the second strikeout for Double East fan. Both many has faced here in this inning. Himmel gets 2 strikes on the hitter.
To have it go down like that.
Lansford flies it into center for Hatcher. And the A's have now left 5. Blew a bubble as he caught it. 8-3 after 7, Cincy. Todd Burns is the pitcher. The new shortstop is Mike Bordick. After Gallego was lifted for the pinch hitter, Duncan leads it off here in the 8th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Duncan has a hit. He has 2 in the series. Drove in a run with a double in the 3rd. See the 5th pitcher of the night for Oakland. Mike Moore didn't get through the 3rd inning. Breaking ball hit into center field for Dave Henderson. 1 out.
Well, after 6 innings, the Cincinnati Reds were 74-6 when they had the lead after 6 innings. Oakland better than them, 79-4, but it's Cincinnati comfortably ahead here in the 8th inning. Both teams dominating their leads with leads after 6 innings.
Duncan is retired. And the batter is Larkin. He's had 2 hits, 2 for 4. 2 of the 12 Cincinnati hits. Oakland fans are subdued here tonight. They'll have to crank it up tomorrow night. They'll have Dave Stewart going for them. They might be facing elimination. What a shock that would be. Fine play by Lansford for the out and took a hit away from Larkin. Larkin, that was a sparkler that time.
What made it so difficult, he was playing Larkin to bunt. You saw the bunt attempt by Larkin. Outstretched in the web, he recovers and throws out Larkin. Fine play by Carney Lansford.
Now Hatcher dunks another one in there. His 2nd hit of the night. His 9th hit of the series, Billy Hatcher. He can do no wrong. He's 2 for 4 tonight. And 9 out of 11.
He gets jammed, just dunks one into right. What a series he's having after a fine playoff. 5 for 15.
Yeah, make it 9 for 12 now.
So he's 14 for 27 in this postseason. Unbelievable.
And the batter O'Neill. O'Neill has had a single and a walk and a stolen base. Scored a run. Facing Todd Burns with 2 out. And the runner moves down to second base. Pitcher and catcher will talk it over, perhaps about the signs.
Well, usually you don't cross a pitcher doesn't cross a catcher up unless there's a man at second base. I think there's just slow reaction right here by Terry Steinbach. We'll see whether it scored a wild pitch or a pass ball. Could be a pass ball.
Hatcher ends up at second with 2 out. And high to O'Neill, 3-0. He is swinging, you can bet, trying to get this runner home. He'll have a rip at this one if it's around the plate. No, he was taking and he walked. 2 on, 2 out. Jim Cott has something for us. Jim?
Well, most of the time when a pitcher's done, Jack and Tim, especially today, they go right up to the clubhouse and ice their arm. Now, we've talked about what a throwback Tom Browning is. Likes to pitch every 4 days, and I don't care if he gets knocked out in the second inning. You will always see him stay on the bench for the entire game. That's unusual these days.
He worked the first 6 innings of this one and stands to be the winner. Now Cincinnati leading 8-3, has 2 on, 2 out, and Eric Davis up, strike 1.
It's so chilly here in Oakland now. Maybe he decided to ice his arm outside without ice.
You can do that.
Yeah.
It's a lovely day here in the Bay Area with plenty of sunshine, nice and warm, but cool tonight. And 1-1 to Eric Davis. 2 for 4.
6 straight balls thrown now by, I should say 5 of the last 6 pitches were balls from Todd Burns.
Now he nails the corner. Davis didn't think so. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two more men on base for Cincinnati. They've left 6. Now 2-2. It was a 7-run third, which wrote the biggest part of this story. Kurt Young warms up for the home team. Another great play by Lansford. Can he throw him out? Beautiful. What a great play that was. 2 left for the Reds. They've left 8, but they still lead 8-3. Bottom of the 8th inning. Here's Canseco grounding 1 to short, and Larkin stays with that one, 1 out. And Canseco is 0 for 4 and 1 out of 11. And listen to this crowd.
It's when you wish you had a name like Moose or Lou.
Hey, you think they're calling you by your name instead of booing you. For Detroit in 1940. And a strike is called to Henderson. Henderson has a double, run scored, 1 ball, 1 strike. Henderson talking with Oliver, the catcher. Oliver's answering him back. There's 1 out here in the inning. Fly ball to right off the end of the bat, but carrying deep and caught by O'Neill for the 2nd out. Didn't sound too good, but it went pretty far. 2 out. We've seen some great plays by third baseman here tonight. How about a look back at Brooks Robinson?
Swing ground ball, third base side. Brooks Robinson's got it throwing from foul ground toward first base. It is in time. And the Golden Glove artistry of Brooks Robinson was never more apparent than on that last play.
Third basemen have been playing very, very well tonight, and there's a pleasant reminder about what Brooks Robinson used to do. Well, we have a pitching change, and Rob Dibble has left the premises for Randy Myers. Into the game, he is a walking billboard. Take a look at his cap.
Well, Mr. Buck, it's you know, in memory of Tim Leana, and in memory of Ken Griffey Sr., in memory of my roommate back home, Russ Tucholsky, because he wanted to come down here, but he had to go to work, and they wouldn't let him out of work.
They call you Mr. Mellow. You're a little different than Charlton and Dibble out there. You are the mellow one.
Well, we have an officer, we have the genius, and we have Mr. Mellow, and I'm Mr. Mellow.
Mr. Mello can throw hard. He fell behind. He throws a strike, and it's 1-1 to Harold Baines, leading or with 2 men out here in the 8th.
I understand 43, Leana's number, and 30, Griffey's number. But what about the name Thor? Wasn't Thor in Greek mythology the god of thunder or the god of war? How can you be Mr. Mellow if you're wearing Thor on your cap?
He's brought into the game just to give him some work and keep Dibble fresh. They got him out of there, and a backhand stop by Larkin. Threw him out with a dandy play. And that ends the inning. Down in order the A's. After 8, they still trail 8-3. Inning we go. Chris Sabo has hit 2 home runs, driven in 3 runs. And the Reds have compiled 8. No team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit in World Series play. And the Reds are 1 out away. 1 out away from going up 3 games to none. The new pitcher is Curt Young. They're 1 inning away from making it 3 games to none. And a foul by Hal Morris leading off in the 9th. Mike Moore, Scott Sanderson, Joe Klink, Gene Nelson, Todd Burns worked the 8th, and Curt Young pitching the 9th. And Morris guides one into left, but it goes foul. And it's 0-2. Tony La Russa.
First extra base hit against a left-hander in his career.
He's grounded out 3 times tonight to the first baseman, McGuire. And he hits one for Lansford, who has sparkled at third. 1 out. Both third basemen have been very busy and very effective. Morris is 0 for 4. Well, here's Chris Sabo with a chance to do something else. In addition to his 2 home runs and a walk, he's been brilliant at third base. One run in the second, and Baines hit the home run. Oakland led 2-1 after 2. And they got Sabo this time. 2 out in the 9th. Tom Browning hanging around to see if he's going to get the win. On the Oakland bench, they are really feeling the clamp right now. It's Jamie Quirk closest to you. They'll dump it all in the lap of Dave Stewart tomorrow night. The batter is Benzinger. Ball 1. Benzinger 1 for 4.
Dave Stewart, and if they win, it'll be Bob Welch again on Sunday night.
And a hit for Todd with 2 out.
Cincinnati just playing with total confidence, total assurity, balanced throughout their lineup, great bullpen pitching. Be impressed with the Cincinnati Reds approach. They won the first game handily. They're winning tonight handily, but sandwiched in between, probably the most important of the 3 wins, if they can win this.
And of course, we're talking about a superb baseball team, these Oakland A's.
Yeah, he'll say that and hope the players believe it.
Oliver corks it into left field, and Ricky Henderson is there. Now the Reds have left 9, but going into the bottom of the 9th inning, they have a handsome lead. It is 8-3. Randy Myers got the final out in the 8th, works the 9th, pumps a strike in there to Terry Steinbach. Or to Mark McGuire, rather. He's leading it off in the bottom of the 9th. He's had a hit tonight, one of the 6 that Oakland has. McGuire hits it out of play, and it stays 0-2.
That gives him trouble tomorrow night. Lou Piniella has the luxury of removing him early and resting him for game 6 or 7. Lou's got a lot of options now. Tony La Russa, unless the Athletics can stage a comeback, major proportions, has few options.
And a fly ball into left should be the first out of the 9th inning, and Eric Davis is there. One hands it, 1 out. 2 in a row, retired by Myers. Little gold around the neck of Mark McGuire. He's got a Mr. T starter set there. Browning pitch 6, Dibble an inning and 2/3. Now Myers, who finished the 8th. Out of play. strike to Terry Stambach.
And if Cincinnati wins here tonight and can win 1 of 4, they're going to drop the DY from that word. It's going to be nasty, because the nasty boys have really done the job on these Athletics.
You certainly have. A lot of people think it's a lot of hype when you watch Cincinnati play a lot and you look at those stats. They are terrific. It's more than just a promotion gimmick. 1 out here in the 9th, and a bouncer for Sabo, who's been terrific. He ties a World Series record with that chance, his 10th chance tonight. Ties a record held by Pinky Higgins previously. 2 out, and in addition, 2 home runs and 3 RBIs for Chris Sabo. And we hope to chat with Chris when this game is over. Tough night for the A's. I thought the home setting would bring them back. There are 2 out, and Randolph is up and Meyer all through the series, but we won't see any of that tomorrow night because they have the gun at their temple. Time called by Randolph, who's had 2 hits and a couple of nice fielding plays. 8-3 Cincinnati, 2 out, bottom of the 9th. They lead 8-3 here with 2 out. 3-0 to Willie Randolph. Ron Hasse, the other catcher. And Mark McGuire with a somber face. Myers comes back with a strike.
Somber and stunned. You don't see that obviously in the eyes of Tom Browning.
He still have a shot, but it's a long shot, and there's one to deep short. Can Larkin throw him out? And he is safe at first base with 2 gone. Willie Randolph's 3rd hit of the night. Excellent play in the hole by Larkin, but couldn't get him.
Boy, there have been some brilliant defensive plays tonight. You mentioned Willie Randolph with a couple of sparkling plays. Barry Larkin into the 8th inning with a good one. A quick release right here, and Bensinger applies the tag, but late. Good base running by Randolph. Watch him slide to the outside part. And by the time he touches the bag, the tag was applied, but too late. There have been some just sparkling defensive plays. Lou Piniella stepped up and stepped back. 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
They thought they had it. Myers to the pinch hitter, Lance Blankenship. He is batting for Bordick, Mike Bordick. He'll try to prolong this 9th inning. Both bullpens are quiet. If they win here, and they lead 8-3, 2 out in the bottom of the 9th. Dave Duncan, the pitching coach. He'll be counting on Dave Stewart. All ball out of play. And it stays 0-2. And a tough series for the A's. Shut out in the first game, then lost that 7 runs, 7 hits with an Oakland error mixed in there. Tough error, though. Blankenship continues to stay up there. In that 3rd inning with 1 out, Hatcher singled. O'Neill reached on an error by McGuire. RBI single Davis. Morris grounded out, drove in a run. Sabo hit the 2-run homer. Bensinger hit Oliver an RBI double. Duncan single homer run. Larkin tripled homer run. 7 in the 3rd. And it's outside. Tony La Russa has used Moore, Sanderson, Klink, Nelson, Burns, and Young, trying to stem the tide. Runner at first, 2 out. 2-2. Reds are ready to spring onto the field. They lead 2 games to none. And they lead 8-3 in the 9th. Walt Weiss unable to play in this series. And that's the way this one ends, and Cincinnati leads it 3 games to none. What a job they are doing on the Oakland team. Oakland left 6 in the game, but had only 7 hits while dropping it 8-3. And Chris Sabo, the hero of this game. 2 home runs, 1 with a man on, and brilliant play at third base, Tim.
Great plays all around on the left side of the infield. Too little, too late for the Oakland Athletics, however. Lou Piniella is more than in the driver's seat. He's in the driver's seat of a luxury car.
Pat O'Brien is coming your way, and some post-game interviews on the heels of the 8-3 Cincinnati victory.
Did the laboring the other night, but no laboring tonight for you, and a chance to see Tucker the other night now come out here and pitch a winning ball game. What a thrill. Father and a winning pitcher.
Oh, yeah, it's been a great 2-3 days for me, I'll tell you. I was a little nervous to start the game out today, but we got that big lead, and I was able to settle down and kind of get into a good rhythm and try to pitch my ball game.
Well, congratulations. Now tomorrow you'll get a chance to sit on the bench and relax a little bit, something you haven't been able to do the last couple nights. Thanks, Tommy. Let's go over to Lou Piniella, the winning manager. And like you said, Lou, when you came into this series, you were not here just to provide opposition for the Oakland A's. You had a lot of confidence in your ball club.
Our club's played well all year, Jimmy, and we played very well coming off of the National League Championship Series, and I felt that we played very well in this series. And like I mentioned from day one, we're not here as an opponent. We're here to try to win this thing, and right now we're in good position.
Winning the division and then the playoffs, I mean, as you get to the World Series, it's almost like there's less pressure.
Without doubt. And our young ball club, I think, really matured a lot this summer. I could see it, the way they played. And when we went into the National League playoff against a good Pirate team, we felt we'd compete and play well. And I'll tell you, they superseded everything that I expected. Made great defensive plays, got good pitching, just good baseball. And we came into the series even more confident, more relaxed, and it showed. We played very well.
Thanks a lot, Lou. Congratulations. We'll see you out here tomorrow. And how about Chris Sabo? As Lou Piniella said, when he gets strikes, this guy's one of our better hitters. You got a couple strikes tonight. Talk about those 2 home runs.
Well, I've just been working on being more patient because I know they're going to try to throw me stuff out of the strike zone, and I got a couple pitches I can handle, and I just look for stuff to hit when I go up there, and I got a couple things and I hit them hard.
Yeah, you hit them hard, and also when they hit it hard at you, you picked it clean. I mean, you put on a clinic out there on defense.
Well, I don't know about that. I've always thought I was a pretty good fielder. You know, I led the league, in National League in third baseman 2 out of the 3 years I've been here. So, you know, I think I'm okay. If I get to the ball, I usually make the play.
Yeah, you're okay. You're more than okay. This whole Reds team has been more than okay. All right, that's the story from down here.